Hello children, today we are going to study English literature and the lesson is the coming of the king. So let's begin. Some children were playing in their playground one day when a herald rode through the town, blowing a trumpet and crying aloud, the king passes by this road today. Make ready for the king. Children, here the meaning of herald means a messenger. The children stopped playing and looked at one another. Did you hear that? They said. The king is coming. He may look over the wall and see our playground. Who knows? We must put it in order. The playground was quite dirty, and in the corners were scraps of paper and broken toys, for these were careless children. Children, the meaning of scraps means small pieces that have been discarded. Children, now let us understand the story. One day, some children were playing in their playground when they heard a loud noise. A messenger rode through the town, blowing his trumpet and shouting loudly that the king will pass by this road today. So be ready to welcome the king. The children stopped playing and started looking at one another. Did you hear what the messenger is saying? The children said to each other, today the king is coming and he may look over the wall and see our playground. So let us make it presentable. The playground was very dirty and in the corners there were small pieces of paper and broken toys because these children were very careless and used to throw them in the playground. Now children, let us read the next page. But now one brought a hoe and another a rake, and a third ran to fetch the wheelbarrow from behind the garden gate. They labored hard till at length all was clean and tidy. It is clean now, they said, but we must make it pretty too, for kings are used to fine things. Maybe he would not notice mere cleanness, for he may have it all the time. Then one brought sweet rushes and strewed them on the ground, and others made garlands of oak leaves and pine tassels and hung them on the walls. And the littlest one pulled marigold buds and threw them all about the playground. To look like gold, he said. Children, here the meaning of strewed means spread by scattering here and there. And the meaning of tassels means short pieces of a material tied together at one end. When all was done, the playground was so beautiful that the children stood and looked at it and clapped their hands with pleasure. "Let us always keep it like this," said the littlest one. And the others cried, "Yes, yes, that is what we will do." They waited all day for the coming of the king, but he never came. Only towards sunset, a man with travel-worn clothes and a kind, tired face passed along the road and stopped to look over the wall. Children, here the meaning of travel-worn means worn out due to traveling. So let us understand the second page. Now the children planned to clean it. So one brought a hoe and another a rake, and a third ran to fetch the wheelbarrow from behind the garden gate. They worked hard and at last made the playground clean and tidy. The children said, "It's all clean now, but we must make the ground pretty and beautiful by decorating it, because kings are used to good things. Maybe he would not notice only cleanliness, because his palace would be clean and tidy all the time." So one child brought sweet rushes and spread it by scattering here and there on the ground, and other children made garlands of oak leaves and pine, short pieces of a material tied together at one end, and hung them on the walls, and the smallest child pulled marigold buds and threw them all over the playground to look like gold. When all the preparation was done, the playground was looking very beautiful, that the children stood and looked at it and clapped with happiness. Now the smallest one said, "Let us keep the playground like this, for it is looking beautiful." So the other children also agreed to this. So they waited all day for the king to come, but he did not come. At the time of sunset, a man with clothes worn out due to traveling, with a tired face, passed along the road and stopped to look over the wall. Children, now let us read the third page. "What a pleasant place," said the man. "May I come in and rest, dear children?" The children brought him in gladly and set him on the seat that they had made out of an old cask. They had covered it with the old red cloak to make it look like a throne, and it made a very good one. Children, the meaning of cask is a barrel-shaped container used for storing liquids, and the meaning of cloak is a long loose piece of outer clothing. "It is our playground," they said. "We made it pretty for the king, but he did not come, and now we mean to keep it so for ourselves. That is good, said the man, because we think pretty and clean is nicer than ugly and dirty, said another. That is better, said the man, and for tired people to rest in, said the littlest one. That is the best of all, said the man. Now children, let us understand the third page. Seeing the playground, the man said, "What a pleasant place! May I come in and rest, dear children?" he asked. The children brought him happily and made him sit on the seat that they had made out of an old barrel-shaped container, which they had covered with the old red, long, loose piece of clothing to make it look like a throne. The children said, "This is our playground, and we have made it beautiful for the king, but he did not come, and now we are going to keep it so for ourselves." The tired man said, "That is good." Another child said that we think pretty and clean is nicer than ugly and dirty. That is better, said the man. And the smallest child said, "This is a good place for tired people to rest in. That is the best of all," said the man. Children, let us read further. He sat and rested and looked at the children with such kind eyes that they came about him and told him all they knew about the 5 puppies in the barn, and the thrush's nest with 4 blue eggs, and the shore where the gold shells grew. And the man nodded and understood all about it. By and by he asked for a cup of water, and they brought it to him in the best cup with gold sprigs on it. Children, the meaning of sprigs means decorative designs of small stems with leaves of flowers. Then he thanked the children and rose and went on his way. However, before he went, he laid his hand on their heads for a moment, and the touch went warm to their hearts. Now, children, let us understand the further story. Now, this tired man sat there comfortably and rested and looked at the innocent children and listened to all that the children told him. What they knew, they told him about the 5 puppies in the barn and the thrush nest with 4 blue eggs and the shore where the gold shells grew. Now this man asked the children for a cup of water, and they brought water in a cup which had gold decorative design on it. After drinking water, the man thanked all the children and went from there. Before leaving the ground, this man laid his hand on their heads for the blessings, and the children felt very nice. Now let us read the last paragraph. The children stood by the wall and watched the man as he went slowly along. The sun was setting and the light fell in long slanting rays across the road. "He looked so tired," said one of the children. "But he was so kind," said another. "See," said the littlest one, "how the sun shines on his hair. It looks like a crown of gold." Now, children, let us understand. They kept on seeing this man who was going slowly. Now it was becoming dark as the sun was setting. One of the child said, "He looks so tired," and the other replied, "Yes, but he is a kind man." Now it was a time for the smallest child to say something. So the little one said, "The sun rays on his hair looks as if he is wearing a crown of gold." Children, I hope you must have understood this lesson. Do revise it at home. Thank you and God bless you all.